Moving on to material, which is, it's a huge topic. I mean, I don't know how much we can cover it here, and it involves composition and writing tools and assembling tunes. I happen to like to write. I never initially, it was never one of my favorite things when I first started becoming a professional music. And the way I learned to write was out of necessity, really. I was playing in the Brecker brothers with my brother Randy, and we had kind of scored a hit record in 1975, and my brother had written the whole record, with the exception of one tune that we all made up together, and that one particular tune became a hit. And I thought that this was going to be kind of a one-record deal, one-shot thing, and I was just there to, just kind of play in the band and have fun. And all of a sudden, we were slated to record again pretty quickly, and then I felt like I needed to contribute to this thing in some way, because I felt guilty that I hadn't written anything. So I started writing in the style of my brother Randy, which is very difficult to do, because he had a very unique, has and had a very unique style of writing that's really uncopyable. But that's how I got started writing, and eventually I studied composition and struggled with it quite a bit until really the last 10 years, where it's become something that I enjoy doing. Generally, I write with various intentions in mind. When writing for an acoustic ensemble, I'm thinking often about what the vehicle for the improvisation is going to be, what the rhythmic vehicle is going to be, how open it's going to be, whether it's going to be fun. The final test after I finished a tune, and usually I keep maybe one out of four things that I've written, but the final test for me is usually whether I'm going to enjoy playing this thing every night, because invariably that's what's going to happen. And so tunes are written. The ideas for writing for me can come from anywhere. It can come from a rhythmic idea, it can come from a harmonic idea, it can come from the piano, come from the saxophone, come from the computer. I can hear it in the shower, hear it while I'm driving a car, all those things you hear about or have experienced already. But the idea is to come up with vehicles for me most of the time that work in a live situation. Not every tune that I've written and recorded work live. Sometimes we'll try it and find out that it's better as a recording tune and not great for a live ensemble. There are many tools that are useful for writing. For me, the computer has become an important tool, although most of the time for me in writing, the tunes begin on the saxophone or piano and eventually make their way to the computer. One rule of thumb for me, and I can't stress this enough, for all of you that are out there that are attempting to write and succeeding at it, the important thing for me is to finish a tune that I've started, and not to let it sit around and half finished and say, I'll finish it some other time. Whether the ending or whether the bridge or the whole composition, whether I like it or not, I make a very I make a solid attempt to finish everything that I start. There seem to be kind of two styles to this. For me, it works better to finish it, so it's not kind of lingering in the back of my brain, and I build up a whole kind of backlog of unfinished material that I don't know how to finish, and then I start feeling overwhelmed and don't even want to go near it. And if I finish a song and don't like the way it's finished, I can always come back and change it. But at least it's kind of off the back shelf, and it's in the running. My brother Randy actually has a different technique that works for him. He kind of uses the kind of jigsaw puzzle approach, where he'll have an A section, he'll write a great A section or 5 A sections that have nothing to do with each other, and a bunch of other sections that could be a good bridge or a good B section or C section or chorus, and then he kind of shuffles them around, and sometimes ends up with really startling results. And that occasionally has worked for me as well in the past, but generally I prefer, for me, to try and through-write something. There's a tendency for me less to jump around and have a more consistent thought